going to make a quick vehicle gang stalking video. This is from my shit phone, the phone that I don't care about, which is the phone number that everybody has. So I make these gang stalking videos from my cell phone, okay? And I'm uploading this one. I'm leveraging the public Wi-Fi because it's really fast, really quick. I've had some issues over here where they absolutely rejected my laptop, and then they beat my laptop up. So here's the most recent update. The ongoing abuse, it's gone covert, it's gone secretive, it's gone more subtle, where it's very subtle, where things would be slightly moved, maybe a little air taken out of the tires. I just had to plug my back right one. The shit show continues. The shit show is alive and well. Even unfortunately, under the Trump administration, which go Trump, go Trump administration, everybody. But there should be no fucking place on this planet for organized stalking. And I sure hope that out of the thousands of federal employees that were fired, that we never see them again, they never get hired, and that at least diminishes gang stalking, organized harassment, torture, following people around, surveillance. And I'm going to get into on this video, this one's going to be called the thefts, stolen property, and vandalism side of gang stalking, because that's very, very common. Again, I got out of a living situation, an illegal Airbnb recently, where the price was just too good to damn pass up. Did that, saved a little bit of money, not much. Then I had work, and then suddenly work stopped because I was an independent contractor. Just recently got hired at a job while I'm trying to grow a couple side hustles on the side, and already got one job from one of them. The other one I'm trying to get ranked, got to build my domain authority and all that good stuff. I'm not going to say what I'm doing there, but I'm trying to offer a product base and then a service base as an experiment. In case one of them fails, I can at least do the other one, full time. And while I'm working at this company, I start tomorrow. So I can't tell you I've got a fucking call coming in. God bless it. This happens whenever I make gang stalking videos too. I'll usually get someone that, like I said, they're trying to interrupt my recording right now. Yeah, that's all it is. It's a distraction, guys. I'm not answering the call because it's a telemarketer that's just trying to distract my video, that wants me to answer the call and to fuck my video up. That's why telemarketers will harass the call and try to get me to answer. But I'm not dumb, so I already know that's part of their tactic. There's a lot of, like I said, all the tactics are always there. They're not always there, but they're always interchangeably used, and they're leveraged. They leverage their badges with police officers. Like I could go through that footage right now, the front and back dash cams. There's a little bit of what do you want to call it, blurry, appearance on it, but this thing should still be fully charged. Yeah, it's fully charged right down there. But I want to get into also, just like I said, the recent update, stolen property, theft. They'll steal stupid shit. Like I know a guy that had eczema who's a perp who I gave rides to. I kind of knew he was a perp the whole time because he said he was being targeted. If people tell you they're being targeted, they're probably lying. And it depends on who brings it up first. Like if you bring it up first, sometimes they'll just piggyback off that and they'll be like, oh, come to think of it, I had that happen to me too. No, you didn't. You're a liar. Don't try to pretend that you're a target, because we know the real targets know who the real targets are. The fake targets, you know who you are. And they're pretty obvious because you can tell that they have to really exaggerate their stories, and they're so dramatic, and they're talking about everything else really besides gang stalking too. They're not really, and they're also talking about everything else that is you can't really prove, but I've got proof. I've got evidence. I've got several pages. I've got 15 pages of proof. And I said, I've told several people, you want me to send you an email? Yeah, send me an email. I sent him the email because I'm about to sue the state of Indiana for $30 million. What they've done to me is they've tried to kill me multiple times. They put glass in my food. That's on 100 Ways to Die. And so you have that. You have, it's government gang stalking. And I don't really believe that the Trump administration is going to stop government gang stalking. They might. It's not a mental illness. They sensitize you with colors on the road, different, license plates, different organizations. They sensitize you to that. They want you to know that you're being watched. At first, they creep up on you. You think, at first you think, am I just kind of losing it here? I know I didn't set that down. I know I didn't move that item or that possession or that product. So, my bad. I was distracted. At the very least, I'm probably ADD and traumatized. At the very worst, I'm not anything else. Schizo, dumb, retarded, disabled. I had a 70-year-old woman, who's my grandma, unfortunately, tell me specifically, you're not disabled yet, but with all of our help and assistance, we're all going to work together against you to disable you. This came from a family member. You're gonna be disabled from all of us. We're going to try to take you out and disable you. So clearly, there's a plan. There's a group effort, right? She didn't say exactly who all is involved with trying to disable me, and she didn't want to mention it. She just wanted to let me know. Sorry. In that Airbnb, I wanted to mention a health hazard that's caused me to be sick for over a month. And before that, I was sick for over a month. Before that, I was sick for 2 weeks. And before that, I've been sick more times in 2024. What does that tell you guys? There was mold in that Airbnb. That's why I have this scratchy throat. And I just recently stopped smoking cigarettes. And I got on Skull wintergreen pouches to suffice my nicotine cravings. In which I'm not a drug addict. I'm not a whore. I'm not a dumbass. I'm not on crack cocaine. I'm not on any hard drugs. I smoke, now I'm just going to smoke the little pre-rolled cigarettes because I'm in the state of Indiana. Pre-rolled, not cigarettes, but pre-rolled weed. THCA. Because I just had the Whitestown police not pull me over, but pull out in front of me. And they want to let me know, they're trying to intimidate people with their badge. And that's also what I'm going to go into. So the stolen property aspect, the vandalism, law enforcement will protect. And the FBI and all the CIA, the crooks that work for those organizations and government gang stalking is what we're talking about. It's not just government, but the government allows it, which tells you there's heavy government involvement. They know about it. They're allowing it. That means law enforcement's in on it. And from the lowest level of law enforcement all the way up to your state police, your sheriffs, your sergeants, your lieutenants, and all that shit, they all know. I'm not saying they all know about it, but once they become aware of it, they know what to do. Let's put it that way. They know it's a call to action, a protocol for them, for the enemy, the bad guys, in which I'm not, because I'm a targeted individual and I've been one for over 30 years, since birth. I'm 31 years old. I started the other channels when I was like 27, 26, because I finally couldn't take it anymore. I'd been totally isolated, cut off from everybody, anybody and everybody, just only family members. Then I met a friend a couple years ago. I still have a couple friends, but I just cut another guy off. I don't want a lot of friends. If you have a lot of friends and you're liked by the world, the flesh, there's probably a problem there. There's probably an issue there. I'm not saying there has to be, but there, if you're not gangs, let's put it this way. if you're not almost completely isolated, you're gang stalked. And the only friend I have in the state of Indiana, he's not from Indiana. He just moved here like a year and a half, 2 years ago from Illinois. So he knows that I've told him, he believes me. He's like, oh yeah. And what's weird, at his apartment complex, there's a Shriner Freemason. Now, there's only like 6 to 7 million Freemasons in America or on the planet. There's 400 million Americans. We outnumber how many Freemasons there are. It's not just Freemasons, too. But we outnumber that organization. For you to see a Freemason everywhere you go, and then there's a Freemason at the hotel I'm at, and the first day he pulls in was the first day my laptop went kaput and took a shit, is a dead giveaway that they're on your ass. And if they're on your ass, they can use the G and the thing under that as a sight. They can aim it at you. They can also use it for their fake religion that they have. And they can also use it to pull political moves. They get in positions of power. A lot of Freemasons get in positions of power. But anyway, there's a high-ranking one. Well, he's not driving a great car. I mean, if he's that high rank, I hope that's not your main car, but there's one that's driving a blue Chevy Trailblazer at my friend's, and it almost never moves. And then there's one that drives a nice Chevy, a Toyota Tacoma at where I'm living, at the hotel. And he's over there right now. And the first day he got there he never left since I left. I left about a month ago, and he's still there. And I came back because I moved out of an illegal Airbnb that was moldy as fuck, that had 2 gangsters running the operation. I had to get the fuck out of there. So that's what I did. Made sense. It's logical to do that. It's not logical to listen to dumb fucks about organized stalking, where you're going to tell people and they're not going to believe you. I had something stolen. Well, it's just you're in a bad area. Are you sure you didn't misplace it? And then sometimes I do accidentally misplace stuff. But the big problem that targets have is the way this is ran is to make us sound crazy. When you tell people that don't know what this is, or even if they do know what it is, everyone's going to play dumb, or they're going to think that you're crazy, whether they know what it is or not, because most people that are involved with this, with my situation, they won't feel bad. As I've seen some of them, the facial expression and their body language indicate that there's a sign there, they feel bad. But then I've had a lot of them where they just show me that they like it. Some people older than me, younger than me, a little bit younger, a lot older, old ladies that are getting off on it, that love it. Old men that act like they're playing golf. They act like they're playing golf when they're doing it. Like they're having that much of fun watching what I'm doing and stalking, harassing me. When they could be playing fucking golf. And I know they're probably retired with a bundle of cash. But no, they would rather follow me around and pull up behind me and pull up close and direct conversations and shit. And I get fired off every job. Usually what happens, guys, personally for me, and I know a lot of TIs can understand this shit, is, pardon me, when we go to work, it'll be cool. Then 24 to 48 hours, 72 hours, first week. Usually now it's the first 70 minutes. I just set a personal record for how fast you can get hired and fired. 70 minutes. I got fired off a job. He said, "You don't know what you're doing." Totally not true. I get gaslighted by probably a cult member, a perp. And he said, "You just don't know what you're doing. You're taking too long. This, that, and the other." I was quick as can be. He was vague on his instructions, and I knew I had no issue with what we were doing. I was already done with the job in less than 70 minutes. We didn't have to mow or do anything. It's a landscape company. But back to what they'll do, and the whole primary focus on this is theft, vandalism, and I'm going to cover other topics in the future, but I'm going to start making videos again because I believe they're behind why I keep getting sick. And like I said, if I end up dead here soon or something happens to me, you people will know. I want you to investigate it. My name is Michael, last name Herber, random person. I mean, I'm a random human being, but I care about my life and I care about other targets. because we're not crazy. And people need to understand that the government knows about this. Okay. Secret societies know about this, but none of these organizations are really, really willing to help us. And I don't trust targeted justice, because they say they're filing lawsuits, but have they won any? They say this, they say that, but are they really doing anything? Targeted justice, are you guys really doing anything? I called back when they existed. Now they fizzled out. Freedom from Covert Harassment Surveillance, and they're a shit show too. Don't trust them. They're a complete shit show. They don't even want to talk about organized stalking, but they want your phone number and your email address. That's what I hear about them. They'll avoid it when you talk about it. All they're trying to get is your personal info. So they may talk about it and then talk about other shit, but and then the other aspect is when you talk about it, like being robbed and having damaged property and like that, for example. I didn't do that. The car didn't come that way. The O2 sensor right here, which I know is the O2 sensor right there, check engine light. That wasn't caused from me. That was caused from them. I have a knife on me right here. This is one of my weapons. Decent little all-purpose knife. I also would recommend knives, guns, less lethal weapons. On Amazon, you guys can buy pepper mace balls, guns, shoot like, I don't know, 16, 18, whatever the hell, joules, like 300 feet per second. That's really the point of the power. They shoot those pepper mace balls and explode on impact. So not only do they sting, they hurt from the force, but they explode and they blind. So you say you just pop two or three paintballs at a perp and they're breaking into your house. That won't kill them, but it'll buy you enough time to call the police. And then at that point, the police can't deny undeniably that you're being harassed, right? But if you just tell the police something stupid like somebody went in my house and they moved shit around, they'd be like, did they take anything? Did nothing stolen? You're going to sound crazy. They know that, and they're going to leverage their badge, and they're going to leverage what you've said and how it fits into the description of a mental illness. And they're going to cart you away. And with some people, depending on where you're at, they're more harsh on the same protocol than in other areas. Like in Whitestown, they've gotten even worse. And so I relocated. Indianapolis police. I'm in Indianapolis now. They're pretty bad. But they know they're like, here's what I notice in Indiana, at least. When I go to the suburbs, they leverage the police force to pull me over because there's less crime, right? So that way the criminals are not going to be able to easily harass me, and they have to have the police's amnesty and privilege to bypass and skip through the law and cheat the legal system. So they're leveraging the legal system and the political side more in the suburbs. And now the police in the city and the metro areas in Indy, probably everywhere else, back off more. I don't get pulled over at all. But then the police, other way around, will give the dirtbag criminals more leeway to go do shit to my car, do shit to whatever, because we're in the city. They'll play it off as, you're calling us for something so fucking stupid like that. We have murders and more serious shit going on, robberies and all this shit going on. We don't have time to go take care of something so stupid, but they will take care of it. And so the police and INPD are letting, unless they have an in, because a simple pullover for them is not going to be enough. They're not going to get anything. Here, they'll ticket you if they can. So in INPD, the police's protocol is to now let criminals run rampant. I'm not saying they're still doing that. I'm saying with TIs they are. To let the criminals run more rampant and to protect them. So then when I report it, you don't know who did it. It's out of sight, out of mind. You can't report what you can't see or didn't get, but you just know that there was damage or stolen property, vandalism. My point being, that's why the police back off in the metro areas, because they know that they're going to protect the street thugs. The street level thugs do their bidding and do the cops' bidding, because at the end of the day, they're both thugs. Not all cops are bad. That's not what I mean. We need cops. Cops are a necessary requirement. We absolutely need them. God bless the good cops. And some of them are good. Some of them have let me off on some stuff that they didn't have to let me off on. Like, for example, I had an eighth of weed on me. Well, a black cop let me go. He was cool. Now, this other guy had ice on him. I didn't know it. And he had to take him to jail. So, with that, guys, I'm going to get going. I have a lot of work to do in a little bit of time at this library. And I'm hoping it's feasible. And I'm hoping there's some cute computers open. Because now I want to document that my laptop is broken. And on the next video, I may... Because I can't stress this enough, how targets have to protect their property. They hate dash cams. Since I got a dash cam, all the repairs that I've had on my car have been minor. Minor. Just got my engine, very small engine leak, and that was a valve cover. And I've had that leak for about a year. And this car's been running like a champ. It's an old Honda. And I'm not going to show you the color or anything like that, but... I need to stop videotaping my surroundings because, I don't tell people where I'm at or give away my address or exact location because it's just too dangerous. They'll file certain things on people. People try to occasionally do, fake welfare checks and shit like that and say that you're crazy or you fit the description of a mental illness or you're suffering from persecutory delusions or I've been told that you're suffering from a persecutory delusion. So I'm being persecuted. I have proof of it. How am I delusional? They still want to sidestep. They still want to go around it, and they still want to say it's a fucking delusion, even though I have proof. But okay, I'm gonna get going. Anyway, regardless, you guys be safe. Fuck the gang stalkers. Keep winning. And hell, I'm figuring a lot of this shit out. This is not like a self-help shit type of thing. This channel is not going to be very popular. This channel is for targets, and it's designed by a target. So with that, I'm going to get going. Goodbye.